Welcome to the TQC web interface presentation. Let's first log in. We shall discuss the first page later, as it requires more information, but before using this software, you must define some basic parameters. So let's go to Preferences, Users, and Lab Information. The area and the lab are defined by the service provider, and you may not change them. The area is a group of labs you belong to, and the lab number refers to your own lab. You must fill all the other fields and then press Save to confirm. After that, under Configurations and Definitions, you must define your instruments. To add an instrument, select a brand, select a model, and specify the serial number. Then press Save. The second panel displays the instruments already associated with your lab. Then we go back to Preferences, Users, and Users Management. Use the first panel to add new users. Type the first and last name and select a role for the user. He may be an administrator, a simple user, quality manager, or sector manager. Refer to the manual to see the functions available to each role. The main difference you can see on this form is that the administrator has no associated instruments. He may perform any operation regardless of the instrument, while the three other roles may be bound to specific instruments. You may enable or disable the profile. Press Add to create the profile. The second panel allows you to modify a profile. You may change the name, the role, and associated instruments, or disable the profile. You can see that the user ID and the passwords may not be modified as they are defined by the software. You may then update or delete this profile. Under Preferences again, select Lab Defaults. The first panel allows you to select the default mean. When you analyze the results, you may use any of these three means, but the default will be used if you do not specify otherwise. Specify the minimum number of samples required to calculate each mean. You may also specify the minimum number of samples to calculate the temporary means. They are being used whenever the number of samples is insufficient to calculate a legitimate mean. Check the box on the right if you want to start with a new mean as you change the reagent lot. The second panel allows you to limit the daily number of samples for each analyte configuration. Press Save to confirm your settings. To conclude the basic configuration, you may add your custom inter- and intra-individual variability coefficients by selecting Configuration and Definitions, Biological Variability. As you may see, most analytes already have a value. However, a value of -1 indicates that there is no value available. You may add your own values in the text boxes. To delete a value, just leave it blank. Let's have a quick look at the Help menu. You may download the manual, connect to the technical forum, and request a new coding. The software comes with a comprehensive set of instruments, controls, reagents, and methods. You may, however, be working with some items that are not listed in the database. In this case, fill this form and press Send. The provider will receive it as an email and will update the database for you. And finally, on the top right of the page, you will see your name to remind you that the software will trace any data input or non-conformity report that you file. Therefore, do not forget to log out when you're done.